friends. That's what I say to my little friends. Okay, guys. It is time to obviously flip the script. Susie will answer the other questions. And you ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 1. I'm joking. First and foremost, where on earth are you in China? Where did you move to? How far is it from me?
So I'm in the other side of the world. I'm in the north of China, in a province called Inner Mongolia. Now I have to reiterate, province called Inner Mongolia, because there's a country called Mongolia, but where I stay is a province called Inner Mongolia, in a city called, the capital city is Hohhot. Hohhot, yes, Hohhot. And that's downtown for me. That's like 40 minutes away from me, and I live in a small town that's developing, but kind of like the rules, but it's developing because there's a lot of empty buildings, lots of space. It's just that there's not enough people. So it's called Horinga or Hilinga, or however you pronounce it, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's where I stay. And what's interesting about Inner Mongolia is that Mongolia, there's actually an ethnic group called Mongolians. Yeah, there's Mongolians, and then the Chinese Han. I think it's Han, H-A-N. Yeah, I want to say the majority is the Chinese Han, but we also have Mongolians who speak the Mongolian language and still practice the Mongolian culture. So yeah, that's a very diverse cultural and historic province.
So yeah, were you in China?
Yeah.
I'm in the traditional part.
I'm in the traditional parts of China. Yeah, it's huge. It's huge in land space. There's not a lot of people though, especially in my part of in Horinga, because it's just the school there. There's a university they're currently building now, but they're trying to drive people from the main city of Hohhot to Horinga. But it's still a process. I think in the next maybe 5 to 10 years, maybe it will boom. Yeah. But it's very quiet. It's very quiet.
Maybe one day I'll think about.
Yeah, you must come. It's 2 hours from Beijing by speed train. It's on the north. You must come through and visit. It's called the Milky City.
Awesome. And of course, straight into the big question. Tell us about your new school, your new position, why, how, everything's correlated. So first, tell us your age level, and why.
Okay, so currently I am teaching at an international school.
Whoop, whoop.
All right. So from public school to international school. So age group, there's a mixture. There's a mixture. Probably between 15 and 18.
The age.
Yeah, between 15 and 18. There's a mixture of students, right? So I teach a grade called ESL. So in Korea we had something called ESL, like teaching the programs.
Yeah.
English second language, right? So in my school, ESL is like its own separate program. Like there's high school, there's a kindergarten, there's elementary school, there's middle school, and then there's in this one school.
Oh.
And then ESL is like a grade. I think that's the best way to describe it. ESL is like a grade. Yeah.
What grade are you in?
So yeah. So ESL in inverted commas is grade 9.
Okay.
It's grade 9, right? So what happens is my school, because it's an international school, the high school, it's a multilingual school, but in high school the students are taught in English. All the subjects are in English.
Okay.
So from elementary, middle school, it's bilingual.
Okay.
But when they get to high school, because it's an international high school, all the subjects, as far as I know, they are in English.
Okay.
So in order for the students to bridge the gap from middle school to qualify for high school, they need to go into ESL.
Okay, that part was easier.
Yeah. Yeah. So and they need to get to like level 7 they need to pass level 7 of English for them to qualify for the high school.
Okay.
So they study ESL from August till July. And they've got 3 opportunities to pass an exam called MELT, which is the grading exam for them to get to the level 7, the next level. So they have like about 3 opportunities to pass this exam, and if they don't pass the exam, they'll have to do ESL again. If they pass it, they go to high school. So in other words, also like I like to call it like it's a bridge.
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
it's a bridging gap from
to help them transition, basically.
Exactly. So
that is a big transition. Okay, that's the first time I actually understood what on earth you teach.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I think you asked me why.
Yes. Why and how?
Why and how? Like I didn't plan to actually to move to teach teenagers. That was actually one of the things. Is like I did not want. I wanted to go to an elementary school, but I got this offer and I was like, yeah, I'll take it. I don't know why. I still don't know why. Just something just said, okay. There were also other opportunities that were available to me that attracted me to the school. So I was like, okay, it seemed like an interesting challenge. Let me go try and see what it's all about. Yeah. So that's been me.
And that's nice. How has it been going since you?
Oh, guys, yo, ngiye ngagoa, yo, ngiye ngagoa. I went through it because now there's a lot of elements to it, right? You said when you came at the right time, at the right end.
Yeah.
I came in probably opposite at the wrong time. Because I came in slap bang the middle of the semester. Yeah. With the students having 1 month to go before one of the MELT exams. And I get it, they've already had 1 and they had 2 to go. So 1 month to go, I'm coming in and I'm teaching just speaking. So just to give you an idea, in this ESL program, there's 4 disciplines: speaking, listening, writing, and reading. So the whole semester or the whole year, they only focus on these 4 things, nothing else. They don't do maths, science, they do English, but they do these 4 things, only these 4 things. So I came in to teach the speaking. There's somebody that's teaching reading, writing, somebody's teaching listening. So I'm coming in to teach speaking. And the speaking exam, the MELT exam, was 1 month away and I just arrived. So now I need to help these kids pass, because each discipline is out of 25. 25. On average, to pass to go to high school, they need 60%. Okay. So they need to get, at least for your subject, they need to get to pass your specific learning area about 12 and a half out of 25. Okay. Yeah, so this speaking exam So this speaking exam, for example, entails they have for 2 minutes. It's like IELTS. If anybody has heard of IELTS speaking tests, it's almost, they're building up to that because in high school they do IELTS. So what they have to do, one of the questions, they have to speak for 2 minutes about they'll ask them, what's your opinion on cell phones? What's your opinion about teenagers addicted to video games? Whatever. So you have to give your opinion for 2 minutes and then you get a mark for that. Another question is they'll give you a story, then you have to summarize it and then you get a mark for that. So that's what you have to teach these students. Now imagine most of these students, English is a second language and they don't have enough vocabulary. Yeah. They don't have a lot of vocabulary. And it's so different from a Korea, because a Korea we were just teaching them the textbook and they were just repeating from the textbook. Now you need to help these people transition from the very little English that they speak, and they have to produce 2 minutes of quality in the exam to pass. So and they are teenagers.
Yes.
So I come in and I don't have time to settle and get myself acquainted with what's happening. I need to try and push them and get them as close as possible to be ready for this exam.
In a month.
In a month. And of course, I don't know what level they are at. So that's the thing. And the levels were different. Like there's some, I think two were extremely good and some were just taking, you know. So it's extremely difficult. Plus they are teenagers. Now teenagers, they get bored very, very easily. They don't want to do work most of the time. So they're not used to me as well.
Yeah.
I have to slow down my speech. The moment they don't hear a thing, or they'll listen, first thing, Shaisa. Shaisa means translate. And I just know, I'm like, I've explained for like a good minute. Like, next thing to a friend, Shaisa, Sha.
Yeah. Yes.
So yeah, that's the kind of
Korea.
thing. That's the kind of things you face when you are teaching teenagers. So I was struggling with the content, trying to create meaningful content, but also keep them, engaged, because they're teenagers and they lose interest, very quickly. So I'd go to work, teach, and realize some days like, it's not working, they're bored, I'm not getting anything out of them. Then go home and try and find something, create something that resonates with them. And it was just a constant struggle. On top of that, at school they were rolling out a new lesson plan model called PPS, and they were trialing it out. And as they were trialing it out, as the foreign teacher in the ESL department, unfortunately I had to do the demo classes. I don't know how many demo classes I had to do, prepare lesson plans for these demo classes. In between my preparation for these classes, mind you, I'm new.
Yeah.
So by the end of the semester or the term, I had done at least 7 or 8 demo classes, whether it's with the teachers from other schools, my boss, the principal, parents. It was a lot.
Yeah.
I
Go.
was going through the most, guys. I think the week that it changed, when I realized, you know what, I can't keep on killing myself like this. These kids, whether you do the best lesson plan the world has ever seen, if they're not interested, they're not gonna be interested. So I was just like,
I don't miss.
so I was just like, I'll just do what I can. I'll just do me. I'll do what I can.
Yeah.
And yeah, the last few weeks weren't as bad. But
yeah. Phew. And it's a new school year now. Speaking of that, Nadia.
yeah,
How are you feeling?
It's a new school year. I don't know. I'm a bit nervous, but not as much as before, because I feel like I've got time now. I'll probably utilize the textbook a bit more. Okay. And I've got at least material that I know that I've used before and has worked.
Okay.
Yes. So I feel like, even though it was difficult, in the first term, there's a lot of valuable experience that I gained from it that will hold me in good stead. And because my students did so well, I'm gonna brag for that. They all passed. They're all in high school, so shout out to them. So I know what it takes, and I know what I need to do to get them to that level of where they do really well.
And this time you get to start early.
I get to start early. My only worry is that I'm teaching listening as well this term, which is a bit more difficult.
Okay.
Listening, like, it's not like listening in Korea. Listening is a skill. It's a really difficult skill to teach. You know, you don't just play something and tell them to listen. You have to active listening, what to listen for, teaching them the content words. If somebody expresses something, if there's a high pitch, what does that mean? So the technicalities of listening is one of the most difficult skills to teach. and that's the one of the things they struggle with. It's listening. So I think that's going to be my biggest challenge, is going to be listening. Speaking, I'm not too worried about. I also just learn getting them speaking, even if you don't correct them all the time.
Okay,
just get them comfortable to speak. Because, for example, when I started, they were all worried about, teacher, I'm gonna get to 2 minutes. I'm gonna get to 2 minutes.
Oh, good.
Like that would stress them out
That's
without the real content. Just stressed out 2 minutes. But I got them to speak every time, and I first started just speaking a minute. Then we're just speaking. I'm like, you see, you haven't even realized that you've gone over 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't. They stop worrying about that. So it's just getting them speaking.
Look at you, teacher.
Yeah. So
wow.
I think, first things first, probably just build that new relationship with the new students.
Yeah.
And take it from there.
And you've got them basically. At the end of the day, you've got them.
Yeah.
And overall, the last update, your life in general, now that you are here.
Okay, my life in China, my social life is probably, I want to say, non-existent. But shout out to some of my colleagues who have really tried to make me feel at home. They've really went out of their way to try and make me feel at home. Like, there was a day, I think it was my birthday actually. I didn't tell anybody. Then I bumped into one of my colleagues. She's like, because we had a conversation before. She's like, "Isn't it your birthday today?"
Oh.
Like, yeah, it's my birthday. And she bought me cake. She bought me lunch. And then when we had a meeting a week later, she bought me cake.
Oh,
it was the most beautiful thing.
Sweet.
Yeah, like all of my, especially the foreign colleagues, they've been amazing. I won't even say foreign colleagues. All my colleagues that I work closely with have been amazing. They've tried to make my life much easier, because Horinga can get very lonely. There. But I don't have the same buzzing social life that I used to enjoy maybe in Jeju, or that you enjoy here in Shanghai. But which means that I've had to what's the word? I've had to supplement that with, one, I was forced to supplement that with work. But two, some of my colleagues, we go cycling now. I cycle, we cycle. If not cycling, I gym, swimming. I try to keep myself a bit more reading. Keep myself busy in that sense. And that's our little social group there. When we cycle or go to the gym, that's a bit where I get my social, where I feed my social soul. And then also I talk to some of my students at school sometimes to help them practice and also feed my social needs. But I do miss going out, being able to go out. I did make some friends, and 1 or 2 friends in the main city, but one, it's far, and 2, we haven't met properly because of work. But that's been my life.
And shout out to me too, because I'm like, what do you mean? You come to me.
But Susie,
I drag you along. I introduce you to. I'm the plug now.
You the plug now. You the.
Please, where's my shout outs?
Shout out Susie.
I'm the one. I'm carrying you.
Guys, when I need a holiday, I just go to Shanghai.
I've got
I go to Airbnb here.
Let's go to
in Shanghai.
You relax. It's literally Airbnb.
Just
literally.
Come here.
When you want to go out, I must
city.
figure out where we're going, which plug, which places to eat,
Yeah.
who's where, what.
It's the best thing ever.
Yo, I'm ready for him to leave. Oh, that's the fun part because he's visiting me. So how many Sas?
Yeah, I'm flying out tomorrow.
Back to your lollies.
Yeah, back to my village, my people.
guys, I guess that I think that was a really great video. I hope that you guys missed us as much as we missed you guys. Actually, like it's always so interesting being away and just hearing people bring up our channel there and there. People be like, "Oh, you're from this channel. You're from." Yeah, I'm just like, wow, you still watching? We love that for you.
Thank you.
And there's always, of course, somebody to drag us on some. Nizo poster nini. Do you even still have a channel? Guys, all that happens, we moved. And it's
guys, we just
been
hectic.
like such a like even we moved so far apart. We literally every man for themselves now.
Yeah.
You're there, I'm there, space there.
Just
that's
rough,
literally
guys.
it.
Rough.
So just being able to make this video is great. Like, so we really put in efforts. Like, so I think the slightly mind we were napping. Just it's been a long day, but we made sure that we also put in that effort, and we also practicing to put in that effort. Because even with this, I don't know when I'm gonna see you again. Actually, also.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
You
Cross
know what?
that bridge when we get to it.
You know what? If it's probably likely that we might see each other
next
in
year.
South Africa.
With the way it sets up, because he mostly comes when he has holidays, like, and that is there and there. After that, because now it's the year's over. Like, Golden Week, you're doing there, I'm going that way. December, you have, so sometimes with the same holidays, sometimes we don't have holidays, sometimes there's longer holidays, some is wishy. So yeah, we might see each other in South Africa, we might not see each other in South Africa, might bump into you in Shanghai again. Like, I literally left him, I gave him my door code, came back from my vacation.
That could happen.
You know, different vacations. How Ola? Nice to see you. So yeah, but that won't stop us from creating content. Spay also needs to give you an update on what he's doing, how being solo is. Shame. But yeah, that's a crash course. We crashed everything, put it all in. We did it for you guys. We really hope that you enjoy this video. 100. Like this video, comment, share, tell the people that you saw your faves.
Sweet. Always
saw your faves. Alright, we out. Peace.
Shop.
I'm so tired. Yo! My favorite is this getting up.